I do.
I
But
thank you. I thank you for answering some
I got a
hard
question for you.
questions.
You have seen how his story has changed on it.
To be honest with you, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't follow it that closely because, like I said, never mind what I do professionally, but as my own somebody, now I got an echo from somebody right above me. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Just for a moment, I'm almost done. Yeah, and I lost my train of thought. But for me, as a mother who has gone through this back in the 80s, I do have a tendency to pull myself away from stuff like that.
Totally understandable, and that's a great answer because that's why Petty uses the trigger topics he does. That whole night, it was nothing but trigger topic, trigger topic, trigger topic. And when people are triggered, they become almost disassociated and they lose the ability to think clearly and they believe.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep interrupting you, Florida man, but even when I get triggered, no, I don't pull away because I also do know how to take care of my own mental health. But from that point going forward, anytime it was brought up, let me put it that way. Nope. Anywhere else on any platform until tonight, because I knew I could ask you these hard questions. I pulled myself away, but for the brunt of it, no, I stayed. Anyways, Florida man.
I'm trying to be graphic with it.
No,
if you know what I.
No, I wouldn't want you to be. No. Absolutely not. Friends, thank you so much, dear, and you have a happy Mother's Day. Florida man, thank you for answering the questions.
I got one more question for you. So,
Sure.
with the older son, did Petty know that son his whole life?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. How would I know that?
Okay, because he said it a few times. I got a couple different recordings of him saying he didn't.
I can tell you my understanding and what the hearsay was. Well, the hearsay was that no, he did not. Absolutely not. It was much, much later in life. That was like kind of like, hello, you've got a son. Surprise.
Why you got cash apps and gift goals if you're doing awareness on this shit? You a bozo host.
What?
You a bozo host.
Mikey,
And Boosie, you a bitch. Florida man,
Mikey.
you's a bitch.
Mikey,
This is a different side of TikTok.
Mikey, please
Why
don't
you
right
got
now.
cash apps?
Mikey.
Excuse me?
Excuse you?
Bitch, you gonna get the
Mikey.
fuck off my
Bitch,
motherfucking panel.
bitch, stop
you gonna
talking
find your
about
mama
this
in
shit
hell.
with gift
Bye.
goals, bitch.
Hoes, bitch, I'ma get what the fuck I want.
Wow, thank
I'ma
you,
get
friends.
paid, bitch. This my motherfucking business to do whatever the fuck I want to. Go ask your mama why she ain't paid
Hey,
for that
can we let Bougie
Get
up?
the fuck up out her pussy.
Hold on, Peppy.
Fuck.
Sure.
I
Can we
get
let Bougie
paid.
up?
This is a business. For y'all, this is bullshit. For me, this is a business. I'ma cash out on
I'll
whatever
send him
the
a-
fuck I do, ho. Fuck we talking about. Ask your mama why the fuck she didn't get paid to shoot you out her ass. Happy Mother's Day. I'm the wrong one.
So that was Mikey. Mikey is very emotionally charged. Mikey's good people, though. He means
Yeah,
well.
but he don't get to question me. This my America over here. He don't question me in my
Yes,
space.
yes.
I ain't question you while you was doing this. Whatever. Let me help you.
Florida man, did you want me to stay?
Yes, Bougie would be able to explain it much better than I will, that part of it. She was just a little bit late.
I'm just being quiet. So y'all do what y'all gotta do. I told you I was on you my
Yes,
platform, however the case may be. So y'all keep tapping the screen. Thank you. And let old snitchy Roo do whatever he gonna do. I'm gonna stay quiet. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Okay, Bushi, go ahead.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I just came in, so I'm not really sure where you were at, but I can clarify whatever, just based off of what I know and what I've seen.
Peppy, would you like to re-ask your initial question to Bougie? She would be able to answer that with much more clarity.
Well, I mean, my initial question, which I don't think anybody's going to be able to answer that, and that's okay, was how do you know or not know that a child was SA? Because you're not going to get, I'm fully aware that you're not going to get the information that I'm aware of. I'm not going into detail.
Right. I can tell you what I know, and when I spoke to the son's mother, she was made aware of that allegation. That was actually, CPS contacted her after they had fully investigated that allegation that the older son, his older son, had SA'd his younger son. That is whatever accusation was made whenever he had been arrested for
Right.
the
I know
child.
that.
So
Mhm.
when they called the mom, they said, your son is in a foster group home. He was falsely accused of SA, but we have fully investigated it, and we're going to need you to come out here, because we're talking, by the time this ended, it was in California. So she was in Florida at the time. So that is what she was aware of. Now, she was not made aware of, the son had never told her, I should say, that what all was entailed in the physical abuse made by
Right. No,
Petty to the
typically
kid.
they won't. Typically they
And
will
and I
not speak of that.
and she was very shocked by that. She was in tears, as a matter of fact, because I also I do encourage people to read his book that he wrote,
Okay,
because
Bougie, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm interrupting, but
no,
we're
you're
getting,
fine.
I'm sorry, but we're getting way off of what I'm asking here.
Well, that's what I'm trying to answer it for you, because I'm saying he answers that question in his book, and he's answered that question for the last 3 years up until recently. And the son never once was any allegation ever made on TikTok, right? Until recently. All right. It was never about that. It was always about the son being SA'd by his mother's boyfriend. And that is what he brought to TikTok.
No, a long time ago, I was well aware of the younger being SA by the older. I'm going to say brother. A long time ago.
I don't know what a long time ago is, but I do know that whenever the people the woman he was with while he was in jail, I know that the people that were in that group and his old had this discussion on TikTok. There's videos of it recorded where that was never ever said. Now, it was said by Petty to the police, which is why CPS investigated it, and ultimately when they fully investigated it, they gave the son back to the mother. All right. I do know that Petty has been made aware of the son since birth, because those are in every single state he's been in. She's attempted to try to get child support. She's attempted to reach out to him, and to no avail, until she offered him while she was going through a hard time. And the kid was at a time in his life where she felt like, he could get an influence from his dad. But I just think that I get that everything we have heard from Petty about SA has come from Petty. Period. I can tell you that this happened on a base, which I'm clearly familiar with how that works.
I'm familiar with all that, but I'm also familiar with, like you just said, all the chit chat and talk on this app, which is absolutely ridiculous, and there is so much hearsay. I understand.
And that
I
means
understand
nothing to me. That means nothing.
I understand y'all have some court documents, but I also know you do not have court documents showing everything in detail because I'm very familiar with these reports as to what exactly was done as far as SA. That I know nobody has but the courts, CPS, and the parents of
Nobody wanted that. I don't want to know what happened that day.
you would never know because it would never be released to anybody except the parents.
But hold on, Pepe, hold on. The question I asked you is, you said that Petty was not aware of Cry's child, but there are receipts that show that Petty has been dodging child support for that child's entire life. And there are documents to show that. There are cases, child support requests, text messages, all of that. So this all lines up to a pattern of behavior, a pattern of lies.
I understand that, but also what I said was I really didn't know. And this was just going here once again off TikTok chit chat, and I don't pay any attention to that. So I hear what you're saying. I really didn't know, and it's none of my business, really. To be honest with you, my only concern is I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you my thoughts. Florida man, you know me, okay? Because of discussions that I've had, and no, I will not disclose that. I said, I know why children of minor age, 15, 16, whatever, I know why they do what they do, okay? I understand it completely. And for the most part, it is not, it's a cycle. It is not their fault. And I'm also going to say, I 100% with everything in me. Yes, I do believe that the younger one was SA'd. And I do believe the reaction in finding that out in the moment was horrific. Because I know on my end, I know what that feels like. Florida man, you know I've been married over 50 years. And back then, it took 3 officers to keep my husband from unaliving somebody, or I wouldn't have had these years with him, and neither would his children. But anyways, in that moment of discovering that, you lose your mind. I really don't want to talk on this anymore out of respect. I'm going to say for children at this point. I mean, I do appreciate all of you. I do. I know you've dug, you've looked up court documents, and I don't know why. I will never understand that. It's like, but you do what you do, and I am who I am.
The older child absolutely had a false jacket put on him that he did not deserve. CPA, he would be on the registry.
No, I beg her to differ there.
Well, he would have been charged in our state as a 15-year-old. As a 15-year-old, he would have been charged in our state for that if that occurred. Secondary to that, Petty wouldn't have been charged. So, I mean, again, I know what allegedly there is, but in this state, you can be charged for that as a 15-year-old kid.
And I
Yes.
I believe that.
Or he would have been put in a group home or something for molester.
I believe that, and you're telling me the lies there. But as the work that I have done, I'm also aware that in a lot of circumstances, because of why they did what they did, and the vicious cycle of what was done to them as they were children, this is where they learn it's a cycle, a pattern, and they continue on and they do it.
But nothing was done to his older son. Nothing happened to his older son.
Nothing.
Period. Nothing happened to him.
Okay.
Not
No
by
charges.
the stepdad, not by the mother, and none of that. That was literally all made up. That's what we're saying. Like, none of this is. And when CPS had to do a full investigation, it took 4 months. So they said this did not occur. So clearly there was no evidence, no nothing to substantiate that this had been done, but that he had done anything or that this had been done, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, I mean, and he would have not been back in the care and custody of his mom that has 4 other minors.
I thank you for
Can
your
I say
time.
my experience with it?
Yes.
My experience is I was wrong one time. I had received information about somebody, and I'm not going to say who they are, but I was wrong, where I thought they were lying. And because, it was like they were supposed to be off the registry at 18, and then now they're still on it. So I looked into it, and I did put it out there, and I was wrong about that. So what they were telling me was absolutely true. They were charged at like 13. Like, children can't be charged with those crimes at almost any age.
Okay. Well, I thank you all for your time. Thank you, friends. I'm gonna
Yes,
drop. Thank you so much. All right.
The side of TikTok I'm from have the most nitpicky, finicky, try to make a mountain out of a molehill out of every single little thing. They're more worried about people having a Cash App in their bio than child abuse and animal cruelty. They're blinded by whatever it is. I don't know. But Bougie has requested again, I believe. Almost. No, Billy did not. I just find it surprising that people that say it's all about the kids interrupt the kid talk to talk about Cash Apps. It's weird. It's okay because it's him. It's okay because it's petty. Like, let's not talk about it because it's petty. And the reaction from everybody being questioned thus far has been the same. Hearsay and I believe, and it's petty. We shouldn't talk about it. But if it was me, we all know what would happen. If it was anybody else, we all know what would happen. Petty is not exempt from the rules that he participated in and that he helped create. The court documents have been on Petty's green screen. We can do that too, because Bougie is going to come back up and help finish with it. But for the time being, if I could get the big box.
She can come back up, but your little friend that keep harassing me, I don't like that.
Mike. Yeah, I know.
We need to go find some etch a sketching to do and leave me alone. Because he ain't about that life
does.
for real. He need to go finish drawing on himself and find something else to do. Leave me the fuck alone. Because I'm going to make my motherfucking money on whatever the fuck I do.
So if anybody could DM Mikey and let him know that this is not the same side of TikTok, that this is not some kind of scam, that Cash Apps are okay.
I'm here to make sure that's what. See, here we go. You like you I'm listening. I'm the wrong one to fuck with, and my people will get after you. So I'm gonna tell you to go on, sir. You mad?
Mikey, I got a question. I got a legitimate question for you, Mikey. What's more important to you?
You gotta take this key.
A dog, animal cruelty, a child, a false allegation on a child being abused.
You sound like a hater.
Very.
That's what we do over here. Everybody over here make their money over here. I don't know what side of TikTok y'all from. Y'all from Brokey Talk, but that ain't got nothing to do with us. And he can do whatever he want. I don't care. But you know what's sad? The saddest part is y'all so worried about my pockets, and I'm not worried about y'all's. Y'all too worried about my pockets. I'm not worried about y'all.
We from the side of TikTok where everybody got tricked into recycling their gifts to the bigger creators so they could cash them out. And they could, the side of TikTok where people say, don't give that person needing a hotel room any money at all, but then they'll go on the back end and ask for $50 for a pack of cigarettes. The hypocrisy and the double standards on that side of TikTok are crazy.
That's the way he isn't. Mikey isn't a hater. He's unique, and pick him every day over FM. That don't got nothing to do with me. Thank you, Bougie. That don't got nothing to do with me. Mikey need to leave me alone because he wasn't even invited over here. Now, I invited a lot of y'all over here, and a lot of y'all come over here every single day. A lot of y'all come over here and gift. If y'all don't like coming over here and gift, y'all don't have to. I don't. Y'all got to remember, I do have my consistent people that's over here every day. It's not like I begged Florida Man to come over here. Florida Man wanted to come over here and talk. I didn't beg him to do that. I didn't beg him to do that. He wanted to come over here and utilize my platform. That's fine. That's what I let a lot of people do. So it is what it is. And while he over here, I'm going to get my coin. I never lied. That's what y'all do. I'm not going to lie about it. I want my money. This is, see, while I'm doing this, it's not a waste of my time as long as I'm getting paid. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. All right, Bougie, I'm going to let you back up.
People, this is Friends with Attitude. She's a really, really good person. I recommend watching her.
You say what? Boost Florida Man for a galaxy. Listen, y'all are like pressed. These people, yeah, I'm gonna get paid regardless. Thank you, Forever Grateful. You over here every day. I'm gonna get paid regardless.
You can boot me for a galaxy. Just let me back up.
No, I'm not about to do that. I don't even. If you gonna send the galaxy, send the galaxy. Like, what we doing? Like, go ahead, Florida Man. I ain't about to worry about these pressed ass people. These people is pressed.
Yes, ma'am. They're distracting. They're trying to like cause a ruckus and be like, let's get the focus off of Petty and let him go ahead and abuse children. It's weird behavior, but it's okay. I'm screenshotting all your names because if you support child abuse, I don't support you. But so we were at the part on this where I showed the charge, what it got dropped to, said about the book and how the book told on him in several different areas. Now we're going to get to the transcripts from the court. Would you mind if I got the big box? Full transparency on it, because that is what the people are owed. Because if I'm willing to do this to other people, it should be done to me. So this is the transcripts.
Because he pled guilty in October, as it says, but they held off sentencing until the trial for the animal abuse, which was January of 2023.
Yeah, and then the trial was like no go, and then the plea was done. So here
I'm sorry, Florida Man. For anyone sending gifts, I'm trying not to cut Florida Man off. Thank everybody for the gifts. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I only came back on for Florida Man to come back on.
Happy Mother's Day to you too,
Yep.
friends.
My Cash App is sitting right here. If you want to send it, you can send that up, and it's the business Cash App because I own 2 businesses. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you for letting us know.
If you want to come up here and ask some questions, Duffy, you can. So
the trial did happen, Florida Man. It did happen. The animal abuse trial, he did go to trial for that, but that was January of 2023 after he had pled to the child charge, right?
okay.
He was then sentenced for the child plea, with his plea agreement. He was sentenced on the day that the trial ended for the animal, which was one charge being a mistrial and the other one ended up being a not guilty verdict by the jury. They then sentenced him at that point, which is, if you pull up the minute order for the animal abuse one, you'll see where it says
Appears in custody.
now to serve your 120. Well, no, it says now you are to serve your 120 days in custody per the plea agreement for the sentencing of the child charge. So the point is that every time this has been shown on Petty's end, he has shown the transcript for the animal abuse charge, which shows that it was a not guilty verdict on one charge and it was a mistrial on the other. But he always said he was wrongly compared himself to Emmett Till. But the fact is that he actually agreed to serve 120 days per his plea agreement.
One moment, because I've got a question about it. I've got the screenshots from where he showed that, and you can keep going, but I'll be right back for something.
I don't know if you heard me, friends, but happy Mother's Day to you, and I respect your hustle on here, girl. Don't pay any attention to Mikey down there in his 5011 accounts because he's just a bully.
Girl, I'm not gonna pay attention to no childish ass man that sleep in his mama basement. I ain't worried about nobody. I feed my kids is eating right now, and other things, and that's all I'm worried about. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. That's all I care about.
I can't really pay attention to the comments because I'm currently en route, but I can't really pay attention to the comments because I'm currently. There he is, friends. But there he is.
I didn't let him up.
There he is, friends. But there he is.
So Bougie, this right here was where he did the transcript for
I don't play this game.
the trial.
Yes, that is when he showed. Yeah, that is when he showed that he was not guilty. Essentially, showing everybody that I was found not guilty by a jury of my peers, but he didn't. What he say that was for the animal abuse. That is the animal abuse minute order only.
So this right here shows violation of probation or violation of something as to count one violation of. That wasn't the animal abuse.
I think it was violation of penal code is what it was.
Okay.
Stating, I can't see the whole thing, but if it's a minute order, it's a violation of whatever penal code, which is essentially the statute that he's charged with. But when I even have an email from him directly that said, when I confronted him about it privately, and he said, "Oh no, I was found, not guilty by a jury of my peers." He has never ever admitted to being convicted or taking a plea to this. He has admitted that there have been charges, but that's it.
Okay. So where did the furtherance of justice come from?
So the furtherance of justice is there was a mistrial on one count of the animal cruelty, and then there was a not guilty verdict. So they could have retried him, right, re-prosecuted him, but in the interest of justice, they chose not to. Obviously, because his plea agreement, he was going to serve time, and he's doing probation for that. So they just chose to not recharge him for that.
Fair enough. No, I'm not ignoring the chat. She's driving, I think.
Yeah, I'm ignoring the chat because I'm en route.
Okay, so he got sentenced here to 120 days in custody, 52 weeks of parenting classes, 4 years of probation, various fines, restitution, and also his son was granted a protection order against him.
Well, yeah, as part of his sentencing, he's to have no contact, and he's to have, he cannot harass, affect his mental health negatively, etc. And frankly, I think that everything that Petty has said about his child, who is his victim, is absolutely terrible, and it's absolutely against what he's been ordered to do. And again, I'm not going to go into super details about it because frankly, we're sitting here arguing with these people for days. But the bottom line is there's absolutely no way this teenage boy would not have been charged if he did it. Also, they would not have put him back with his mom that has 4 other minor children if that was the case. It was fully investigated. The courts and the state determined it was a false allegation. So clearly, there was evidence that wouldn't be a false allegation. So I just think that people are misunderstanding what really happened, and they're always focusing on, the child's essay. In the beginning, it was always the son was raped by multiple, for multiple years. That's what Petty used to always say. He was in a mental hospital because he was raped for multiple years by his mom's boyfriend. The same thing that he said in his book.
Yeah. And it's now changed to the version of this.
Right, and I think it's absolutely sick.
As well as
in your story to be excuse your crime.
So, as well as the fact that he claimed to have not known that his son existed for the first 10 years of his life, but there is contact from the mother to Petty through child support and him dodging that as well.
Well, he had met the kid twice prior to that. He met the kid when he was an infant, and he met the kid when he was like 3 or 4. He just didn't want to pay child support. And, I mean, it was his choice. Obviously, he had married, and he had his own kids. But, I mean, he definitely knew about it for his whole life. Petty's whole family has known about this child.
Okay. So on the next page, this is where it says the 52 weeks of parenting classes enrolled by April 7th. Pay the restitution. And he is reprimanded by the courts while he's put in jail this day, right?
Correct. And mind you, he wrote a book about being in jail, the Survivor's Handbook to the Monterey County Jail. Okay, and never once has he ever said publicly that he went to jail because he pled guilty and he agreed to that jail term. He never ever says that. So, again, people just have to really go back, and he tells on himself in his writings, in his own books.
Yes, I did let him know that. I might have got Petty a couple of sales, which is good for him.
I don't recommend it. I don't even recommend the $9.99 Kindle version.
I do, because if you read it for yourself, you might see what people mean. And nobody's going to distribute his writings illegally because we do not support piracy. Because Petty will try to talk about that. Buy his book. It's an accomplishment to write one. Peace, I'm supportive of the
Yeah,
book.
I mean, I just...
You're muffled, breaking up a little bit.
Is that better or no?
Yes, that's better.
Not better.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Okay.
The last page of this one is just saying that he's reprimanded to the jail.
Right. It says you're remanded to the Monterey County Jail to serve out your 120-day sentence or something like that.
Yep. So there is a couple things to cover on that. When Petty got out of jail, Petty immediately jumped on live and said that he received a hung jury and he was still put in jail.
Yeah, he made up a story about the PA getting fired because of putting him in jail, and it was because of another inmate that helped him say the right things to get out. It's absolutely crazy.
It's wild.
I mean, really.
Never in my whole criminal life have I ever heard of anybody going to jail for a hung jury for 120 days.
Right.
Let me grab the phone that the audios are on, and I will be right back.
All right, let me do a quick break. Listen, welcome to the ADHD Live, to where you never know what you're going to get. Y'all, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have nothing to say. I'm minding my business. He's doing what he's doing. She's doing what she's doing. I don't got shit to say. Y'all mad because I don't got shit to say. Because I don't give a damn. All right. Y'all just got to make sure y'all got y'all receipts or whatever the case may be. And I just want to know in the end result, what's the resolve between y'all and Petty? Like, it seems like y'all go after each other a whole lot, but what's the point? What's the purpose? Is there a resolve? That's my question. I really don't want to know nothing else. Like, is there?
I can answer from my perspective. I will say that I started coming at him because he was coming at me, to be honest with you, for literally no reason, honestly. And then after a while, and after many months of people coming to me that were aware of things and me just doing my own research, you know, other people, like other women, have tried to expose him for the very same things, and he's done the very same thing to them that he's doing to me, which is, you know, filing false charges, which is filing for protection orders, which is getting people online to believe that, you know, all these things about me are true, or, you know, body shaming, whatever. It's crazy. When in reality, like, I think clearly he's just afraid of people exposing the truth, because I'm not the first person and woman that has been, you know, he uses the legal system to come at us, which up until now, you know, I mean, I'm the only one that has an active protective order, period.
Active protective order,
and he tried to file false charges on me, and it was also I have an active protective order against Petty, and he had one. He tried to get one against me, but he never had it properly served. And then when he didn't have it served, he went and had charges pressed on me for saying it was served and that I violated it. So got dismissed last month by the judge and the prosecutor, because it never should have been filed. But this is what he does. He did this to another woman before and filed false TPOs on her, went to her city, filed false reports in her city at the police department. This is what he does to silence people. And again, I just think that obviously there's a lot of Petty supporters, but there's a whole other side that people need to also be objective about. And I mean, I would be cool if he just let me the fuck alone, but he hasn't, and he's continued to bring I mean, he has a current lawsuit for defamation against me and another Mallory, and he even, and he's not even on this fucking app, right? It's wild. It's fucking wild to me. But
y'all do,
I mean,
you know, when y'all
I haven't done anything wrong.
Things.
This whole app.
The only thing I ask is that y'all have y'all receipts. That's the only thing I ask. Y'all know that's the only thing I ask. Other than that, I don't have a dog in this fucking fight. I just ask y'all to tap my screen, have your receipts, share the live, help me out my cut, pass the collection pay, and all the things. I don't got nothing else to say, nothing else to do. I don't give a damn. Y'all know I don't give a damn, because this ain't on my side of TikTok. And even if it was on my side of TikTok, I still wouldn't give a damn. What y'all eat don't make me shit. I'm gonna take a nice healthy shit in the morning and keep it moving. Now, like I said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And I hope y'all get y'all shit together. But I ain't got nothing to do with none of this. None of this. So I'm gonna mute back up. Y'all just have y'all receipts. Don't be out here spreading no lies on nobody and all the things. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. Y'all continue to tap the damn screen. Shit, because I don't give a damn about none of this. This TikTok shit. This the fucking interweb. Y'all too goddamn invested. If you ain't making no money off this shit, you ain't invested properly. Too late for that. Girl, it ain't. Y'all too damn late. Y'all too damn late because y'all so damn invested. I'm not invested. He know that. Florida man know I don't give a damn nothing.
But we agree. Everybody does their thing. But we support each other. It's like, hey, you give me the platform. I try to have these people run your coins up.
I mean, I do want to say that people think that. I mean, I don't go live and talk about him anymore. You don't hear me doing that. I haven't even really been on the app much. But just because he doesn't say my name doesn't mean that he's not doing shit on the back end. And he's been doing shit on the back end in real life for months.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't know that.
My resolution with Petty is Petty being fully honest. As honest as I am. Fully transparent, be honest with the people. And Petty would go so much further if he just came out and said, look, this is the truth, this is what it is. It might hurt for a week, but you know what? People will come around because people do like Petty. He's a likable guy. But he can be a likable, honest guy.
Well, I mean, you can't really be calling other people out for their quote behavior or the things they do or the whatever you hear about them if you can't even,
Keith,
own your own shit.
I won't even invite you to the box. I know you won't take it, but you can put anything you don't think I'm transparent about down there, and I will answer it for you. But that would be the choice that everybody would make, and that's the realistic outcome for this. Is people see who he is either by him saying it or by the truth being told. If Petty told the truth, would he lose some people? Yeah. Would he eventually gain more people? Yeah. The argument when it come up, the court cases when it come up with Petty going to get protection orders on this person, that person, and that person, it wouldn't be coming up. But then the drama wouldn't be coming up either because he feeds off of the drama. As you see, he's tried
Like he wrote a whole Reddit post and a whole thing and made a whole video of his live about how he's a victim, a male victim of stalking on this internet, which was wild to me because that was all a lie. And everybody on this app thought that I literally went to his fucking area and took pictures of him. I mean, how long were you guys arguing about my fucking layover in Baltimore? It was unreal. When in fact, he had filed this shit 3 weeks prior to that. Just made up a whole ass lie. And what he filed had nothing to do with me going to his house and everything to do with me being on TikTok, by the way.
All right, I
so-
see Missy up in the box. Hey, Missy, do you have something you need to say? Because you normally don't get up in the box. Missy? Because I treat everybody with kindness. I try to. But
Mike, you need to sit the fuck down. You're not welcome here.
Okay.
Clearly, I don't know what the fuck you're doing down there.
No, babe, but if you got something to say, you are more than welcome to say it. You know, these disrespectful folks, I don't let disrespectful people talk in my panel.
And no, I never went to his house. I think you guys are sadly mistaken. He made that up and you guys all believed it, right? But
Yes.
what was crazy about when he made that up to you guys, he had filed these charges February 7th, and I have his statement in his own handwriting.
So,
It had nothing to do with me coming to his house.
Bougie, they're trying to get you off topic. I can explain that off very well. I argued about an airline ticket with Ratina and Dora for 3 hours plus. By the time that live ended, I was just fine because they both had the receipt and they chose not to read it. And it's the best example for all of you. Read the receipts. Don't just sit there and be like, I like the way Petty sounds. I'm going to believe what he says. Or do. I mean, it's really your prerogative. Support child abuse or don't. That is your prerogative, but it's also my prerogative how I react to people who do. So there we go.
Hey, mods. Thank you
There's
for
hard-
coming to Protect the Live. I'm talking to my mods. Thank
Oh,
you for
sorry.
coming to Protect the Lives. Y'all know what we do over here. We deal in respect and receipts. So all I ask is that y'all have a receipt and make sure that y'all not lying on nobody, okay? And that's it. Y'all make sure y'all tapping the screen and y'all just share the live. But go ahead and continue to do what y'all do. Just be respectful. I see we have a disrespectful person in the live, but he seems very persistent, but he ain't on my side, so he needs to be careful. But just make sure that y'all showing y'all receipts of the stuff that y'all talking about, because nobody on Mess Talk got a dog in this fight, okay? And also y'all need to figure out a healthy resolve between y'all and Petty. Is there a way that y'all can just go about y'all day and he go about his day? He hold his live and y'all hold y'all live and just let it alone?
Petty attacks people. Petty has affected people mentally and in real life, several people. He tried to do it to me last year. Didn't work. We made up. We were good. And even when I found this stuff out, we were still good. I wasn't kicked off his platform. I removed myself from his platform because I still believed that Petty had a protection order against Bougie. So out of respect for Petty and me, clearing up a lot of this stuff for Bougie and the whole doxing situation that everybody forgot about, that's now cleared up for the most part. I blocked Petty. I'm the one that removed myself from Petty's platform out of respect for him and his protection order until things were done with Bougie. And then I found this out. And after I first said something about it, that's when he's like, oh, well, exile in Florida, man. Okay. Well, he was already blocked when he said that. So I'm going to play this audio. And this is the audio that he had gotten out of jail and tried to lie about.
I went to jail recently. You better look it up. You better fucking look it up. I had to wait in jail for them to dismiss my charges. I got a not guilty and some fucked up shit happened, and I got a hung jury on the charge. And they did me a fucked up way. They did something they don't do to people when they got hung juries. They put me in jail. They put me in jail until I said, oh, I ain't taking no motherfucking deal, and they dismissed that second charge.
Mikey.
So he said he wasn't taking a deal, and he said that he got put in jail anyways over a hung jury and a.
So anybody who knows anything, anybody who watches true crime, anybody who watches any television shows about court, anybody who's been through the process will be able to tell you that they do not put you in jail and try to force you to take a deal. That would be putting you under duress. You were not promised anything. You were not threatened. You were not extorted to take this deal. That would be going direct